What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing my AFC East positional group tier list. So this is just a tier list as every single positional group in football, and then I'm just going to be ranking all four teams in each of them based on the best to the worst. This is a difficult one. I've already kind of thought it over. And same with my prediction video for this division. It's a very competitive division. These rosters are very good, one of the better divisions in football, so it just makes this a lot tougher. But I will say the one positional group that was lacking is the offensive line. There's really no great offensive line in this division, but it's still fun to do. Anyway, if you have different opinions, let me know them down in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy. So starting with quarterback, I'm gonna go with the Bills as the best. Josh Allen, Kyle Allen. I'm gonna be using the entire rooms for this positional ranking, so it's not just the starter, but for quarterback, when there's only one of them on the field, it kind of does just matter about the starter. So I'm gonna have the Bills in first. I'm gonna have Jets in second with Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson. And then I'll have Tua in third. That's Tua and Mike White and Skylar Thompson, who I think started for them in the playoffs last year. And then finally, I have Mac Jones and the Patriots in last place. I think this one was pretty easy. I actually did polls recently for this division positional rankings, and this is exactly how it played out. And that's how it should have played out. Running back, I'm going to go with the Jets. This is another division. It doesn't have the best running backs. I guess it's kind of running back by committee, unless you want to say Brees Hall, but he did get injured last year. I actually expect a big year from him, but Jets in first with Michael Carter, Brees Hall. And while I'm making this, Dalvin Cook is visiting the Jets, so potentially Dalvin Cook. And then I'm going to have the Patriots with Ramondre Stevenson, Ty Montgomery, which I did not know Ty Montgomery's still playing. If any of you are kind of old, you remember Ty Montgomery on the Packers. I think he was a wide receiver and then moved to running back, still with the number 88. But I don't even know if he's still playing. And then I'm going to say the Bills with Damian Harris and James Cook. And then finally, Dolphins room, which is actually pretty awful. I mean, they have Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and Myles Gaskin. So they're going to stay in last. If they get Dalvin Cook, they would immediately move to third. I'd still have the Jets over them, but I did hear Dalvin Cook rumored to the Dolphins a little bit ago. Offensive line, once again, this was probably the worst positional group in this division. There's really no great offensive lines. I will say the Patriots is a good one. Patriots do have a good O-line, probably middle of the pack, potentially top 10. So Patriots with Andrews, Strange, Brown, and Reef. And then I'm going to go with the Dolphins next. Once again, nobody's great here. Dolphins are pretty good all around. It's just Eichenberg really brings them down. He was awful. And then I'm going to go with the Jets. I would have put the Jets above the Dolphins, but Mekhi Becton, once he was injured last year, he hasn't played a whole lot in his career. He was a pretty hyped up prospect. I think it was 2020 when he got drafted. So if he plays well, they would certainly go above the Dolphins. But Elijah Vera Tucker played well for them. And we just got to steal Mekhi. And then I'm going to go with the Bills in last. Wide receiver, this is another one I did a poll on, and I believe it completely agreed with me. I said the Dolphins in first with Hill and Waddle. That's pretty unanimous. And then I said the Bills, but if you want to argue the Jets, I will allow that. Obviously, the Jets are right there. I'd only pick the Bills because Stefan's older and he's been doing it forever, where Garrett Wilson's going into his second year. It's really tough because the Jets' depth, I think, is better with Mecole Hardman. I do like Gabe Davis as a second. I do think he's better than Alan Lazard, but Jets have it better. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Just because Stefan's been doing it for a decade now. Jets, and then obviously the Patriots. I think it's Juju, Kendrick Bourne, and Devontae Parker. So they're the worst, but it's not a bad wide receiving room. It's just the AFC has so many good wide receivers in it. Tight end, I'm going to start with the Bills. I know Dawson Knox had a down year. They also drafted Dalton Kincaid, who's probably the best tight end from this year's draft. I think they drafted him like 26 overall. So end of the first round, Dawson Knox, and Dalton Kincaid are going to be the forefront for the tight ends in the East. And then I'm going to go with the Patriots with Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki. Gesicki was a starter for almost all of it. I mean, all of his career pretty much in Miami, so he's a pretty good backup tight end for him. I'm sure they'll run a lot of 2 tight end sets. And then I'm going to go with the Jets with Tyler Conklin. And that's not too good of it. It's only because the Dolphins really don't have anybody there. They have Durham Smith and Tyler Croft. So this one's pretty easy. Cornerbacks was tough. There's a lot of good cornerbacks in this division, sort of like wide receiver. You got to have somebody guarding all these receivers, so you're obviously going to go get some pretty good corners. Now, I'm making this the day after Jalen Ramsey got hurt. I'm going to rank them as if he's going to be healthy. He should be healthy 5 games into the season, something like that. So Jalen Ramsey's healthy in this scenario, which is why I'm going with the Dolphins with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. And then I'm going to go with the Jets with Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. And then I went with the Bills with Tre'Davious White and Elam, so they'll be third. And then I'm going to go with the Patriots with Jonathan Jones and Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez, I like the prospect. It's just he's a rookie. I haven't seen him. I'm not going to put this group above Tre'Davious White. But I do think they could be very good. Safeties, I'm going to go with the Bills. This is probably the best safety tandem in the NFL with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. I mean, that's unreal. And then I'm going to go with the Patriots with Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers, another pretty good safety tandem. Then the Dolphins with Holland and Elliott. And then finally, the Jets are in last with safety with Jordan Whitehead and Adrian Amos. If this was like 2019, they'd probably be above the Dolphins, but I'm going to have them in last. The defensive line, Buffalo Bills in first. They're so stacked with Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, and with Leonard Floyd, I believe it is. They can all have 10 sacks. Then I'm going to go with the Dolphins with... Ooh, not there. Then I'm going to go with the Dolphins with Wilkins, Ogba, and the Jalen Phillips. Then I'm going to go with the Patriots with Lawrence Guy and Matthew Judon. Then the Jets. I know the Jets have Quinnen Williams, but that's pretty much all they have. I'm surprised they didn't go defensive line in the first round of this draft. They went linebacker, which that'll be next with Will McDonald. But they'll be in left. I know Quinnen Williams top 3 defensive tackle in football, but there are usually 4, maybe even 5 down linemen. So only so much he can do for that group as a whole, which is why they're in last. Linebacker, I'm going to go with the Bills. I know I said Leonard Floyd for the D-line. I ranked him at linebacker when I did this because he's listed as a linebacker for them. I'm sure he's he'll be an edge rusher for them, but he's listed as linebacker. They also have Matt Milano, who I think is a top 5 linebacker in the NFL, so that's also going to keep them right here in first. Dolphins have Baker and Chubb. Pretty good. I mean, once the linebackers aren't the best in the AFC East, but that's why Matt Milano himself just brings them to the top. Dolphins second. In third, I'm going to have the Patriots, which it's not good. Like Josh Uche, I guess. It's not very good for the Patriots, but it's even worse for the Jets. They really just have Will McDonald. I mean, they have Will McDonald. He's not going to start for them, but they also have CJ Mosley, who has been injured. Actually, I'm going to put him above. CJ Mosley is better than Uche, but... And they have Will McDonald, I guess, first round pick. They could be better. Neither of them are too good. Linebackers aren't that valuable in the NFL. I really think it's just the D-line. I mean, they're just there to fill the holes that the D-line opens up with taking up all the blocks. That's why you see a lot of teams not paying linebackers and just kind of stacking up on defensive line. And then finally, special teams. This one really does not matter. I said the Jets, and then I had the Patriots, Bills, and then the Dolphins. This was kind of difficult because each team, I didn't want to go off of just last year because pretty much all these teams are having a competition. Like when you look at their depth charts, there's 2 punters or 2 kickers. I think Jets are the only ones with like one guy. I think they have Greg Zuerlein at kicker. Like there's no competition. Patriots have a competition of both, but I trust Bill Belichick to have great special teams. And the rest of them also competition, but they don't have Bill Belichick. Anyway, these are my AFC East positional rankings. Let me know what you have any different. I would love to hear what you AFC East fans have for these. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know which one I'm going to do next. I'm going to have a poll up for which AFC division to rank next for the positional group. So if you want to have a say in that, be sure to vote in the recent polls. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.